The Cicero Grand in Cicero. Stop smoking 2 p.m. Weight loss hypnosis 11 a.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Salt City deals are here. We're on a mission to save you money while supporting local businesses. Only at saltcitydeals.com can you double your money on gift cards to local restaurants and businesses all over Central New York. Each week will feature a different business. Listen for your favorites to be the deal of the week or get crazy and try someplace new. Double your money and support local restaurants and businesses today at saltcitydeals.com. That's saltcitydeals.com.
Are you an experienced import car technician looking for your next opportunity? At Upstate Imports, we keep luxury imports running like new, and we need skilled techs like you. Work with state-of-the-art equipment, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a team that truly values your expertise. From BMW
Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for
Afternoon, Riley Underwood here with you. I don't know where my partner Nick Whaley is. I mean, I have the empty seat next to me. I'm just waiting for him, so hopefully he'll show up sometime. But we're gonna have a full show regardless. We're gonna talk some women's hoops. Obviously, Syracuse women, the only basketball team in the NCAA tournament for the Orange. They face off against Iowa State. That's on Saturday at 5:30. They're the 9 seed. That's what we've been talking about the whole year leading up to this. They were expected to be the 9 seed, and that's just how it shook out. They're going to be the 9, facing off against number 8 Iowa State on Saturday. And that game, of course, 8 and 9 seed, always going to be a tough second round against presumably Connecticut, which is not a team that you want to go up against, especially with what happened 2 years ago when Syracuse was in the NCAA tournament. That's a team they went out to as well, unless, of course, Texas San Antonio, the Roadrunners, can get it done against UConn. And you have the home court advantage to factor in as well, with the women's tournament being played at the home court of Connecticut for this specific group of teams. And the men's hoops, that's another story, because it was reported that Bryan Hodsgon, the reported front runner for the Syracuse head job, current head coach at South Florida, who has the 11 seed Bulls running into the tournament to play Louisville. Well, he declined the Syracuse basketball job, which was a shock to many, and it calls into question how good the Syracuse job actually is, because we were talking about it on our last show, debating between is Syracuse one of the best jobs in the ACC, is it one of the best open jobs in the country? This kind of calls into question, well, is it really? Because when you have a guy from South Florida who is declining the Syracuse offer already, and he's not pulling, he's deciding between Providence and staying at South Florida. So that's interesting for what that is. And it seems like this is kind of similar to what Josh Schertz decided to do when he wanted to stay at St. Louis, except we're not sure what Bryan Hodsgon will do, because it seems like Providence will be in a bidding war with the Bulls from the Americans. So that's kind of interesting, because it seems to be that Syracuse's resources and what they're willing to give the coach, what they're willing to put in an NIL, may not be what the fans are actually thinking and what they've been accustomed to in all the Jim Boeheim years of Syracuse being a top basketball program and a top landing spot for a lot of coaches of where they would want to be. And with Hodgson declining the job, it seems like Jerry McNamara will be the front runner, current head coach of Siena, and of course former Syracuse superstar and assistant coach, and he was a guy that kind of lurched into the talks again when they made the NCAA tournament. Siena won their conference tournament, and now they're playing Duke in the first round, which will obviously be a tough task for them tomorrow. But seemed like a lot of voices around the program were kind of going away from the Syracuse family tree, the Boeheim family tree, after what happened with Adrian Autry. They said, well, maybe we don't want this to happen again. And one way to avoid that was going outside of the Syracuse family and going somewhere else. And, of course, that's where Bryan Hodgson's name came up. Josh Schertz's name came up. They didn't get either of them. So looks like they might opt for Jerry McNamara, and if that gives you any clue into what my hot take might be near the end of the show. But Jerry McNamara, I mean, he's completely transformed Siena. They went 4-28 the year before he got there. Last year he went 14-18, 9-11 in conference play, and now he wins this conference tournament and 23-11 overall. It's their first NCAA tournament bid since 2010. So Jerry McNamara has for sure turned that program around, and now all the talks are of him being the front runner for the Syracuse head job. He's dismissed the rumors, obviously, because you can't just flat out say that you're going to Syracuse, but it seems like a lot of people around his camp, his assistants, I'm sure, will be happy to receive the offer that we may expect to come soon. Of course, he's not going to make that announcement before the game tomorrow against number 1 seed Duke. NCAA tournament. Here comes my partner, Nick Whaley. And he's rushing in here. It seems like he's out of breath a little bit. And I'm sure that you won't want to miss this story to why this happened. I'm sure I don't. He's coming up here next to me. Nick Whaley joins the show. Thank you for joining us. You know, it started at 3.
This is the first time we're doing this for, 3 years? First time I've ever been late.
Okay.
First time I've ever been late. I have no excuses.
So what happened?
Well, the Nick Whaley show's in town, so there's lots of traffic these days.
Right.
So.
Right.
But yeah.
Traffic getting to the studio.
Traffic getting to the studio.
All right. Well,
so I apologize, everybody. I sincerely do.
I know. Well, they were tuning off once they heard it was just me. Everyone was switching off the channel when they heard you weren't joining us. So.
Well, it's good that everyone joins in just for me.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
So 3:05, he shows up. Glad he's finally here.
I told you 5 minutes on the dot.
Hello. At least he's honest.
Yes, but I apologize, everyone. So,
all right, take a guess at what I was talking about.
Well, I'm guessing you're talking about March Madness.
Right. Something to do with it, yeah.
Talking about Siena, talking about Duke.
We were, yeah.
So,
what would you like to talk? I've talked about women's hoops. I've talked about the men's job.
Okay.
What would you like to talk about first?
Well,
Nick?
I think we should talk about. Can we talk about the men's job?
Sure. Let's talk about the men's job.
Because obviously, in terms of what's the developments of recent days, I've heard some rumblings.
Oh, okay.
I have that apparently the report that Bryan Hodsgon had declined the job.
Yeah.
Some are saying that that's just to boost his offer from Syracuse. What would you think? Do you think that that's even a possibility,
or
is that just?
I don't think so. I think it's wishful thinking from you, Nick. And I was talking about.
Man,
to our loyal listeners that were listening with just me on the show that were saying, I was saying, I don't think the Syracuse job is where a lot of people, including you, I know you think it's a top job. I just don't think that's where it's at, because it's not like he's saying, no, South Florida's my home. I'm not leaving anywhere for South Florida. He's choosing Providence over Syracuse.
I think that's a little harsh to say yet, because it's not like South Florida doesn't have NIL money. They're building a $500 million stadium for their football team.
But you can't say that Syracuse is a top 15 job when a team from the American is outbidding.
But then that's why St. Louis were able to retain Josh Schertz.
Right.
It's because they ended up with a huge, I think they said it came from Saudi Arabia, like a full, I don't know what it was. It was like a $10 million thing. So are you saying that St. Louis is
a better job than Syracuse?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But the fact of the matter is that what I would perceive as a top job in college basketball is not what a top job in college basketball is anymore. Like, I will still stand on the hill that Syracuse is a top 5 ACC job, and that to me means it's a top 20, top 15 job in all of college basketball. But the reality is that if Josh Schertz, who got the offer from Kansas State, which is also a really good program, he was offered that job, but he declined it because St. Louis got this influx of money.
Right.
Who's to say that USF, the same thing won't happen to them? They have a pretty good pool of donors. I wouldn't be surprised, especially now that Louisville doesn't have their top scorer going into the tournament. I have USF winning that game.
I do too.
As the 11th seed. I could see them making a pretty decent run, maybe get to the Sweet 16. I think that a little bit of a nice dark horse run. Who's to say that Bryan Hodsgon doesn't stay?
No, I'm not saying that, but I think it's interesting because the difference between Josh Schertz and Bryan Hodsgon is that Josh Schertz, he straight out said, I'm staying at St. Louis. Bryan Hodsgon didn't say that. The report came out that he declined the Syracuse job, but he's not saying he's staying in South Florida. It's going to be a bidding war between them and Providence. He'd rather go to Providence than Syracuse, and he's a Western New York guy.
Which I think that still tells me that it's more about the NIL money more than anything else.
But I think that's all part of the package. I think that all goes together.
Of course. I think in a lot of the ways as well, Syracuse, I think it's just because it is the athletic department as a whole is still in such limbo that we don't really know what's next.
Right.
I'm excited to see what Brian Blair does. I think he was the perfect pick for AD of the options available. I'm glad that now we can look forward and there's stuff to get excited about. I think it's too early to go doom and gloom about who the next hire will be. I am concerned if it is Jerry McNamara. I think it's way too soon for him. Like, if Siena was a 15 seed, I think that Siena team would win in the first round. If they played Purdue, for example, 15 against 2, I think they have a chance. Against Duke, they have no chance. Right. But the worst thing that could happen in my opinion, for the Syracuse program, is for Jerry McNamara to somehow beat Duke. Because that would mean I guarantee that GMAC would get the job.
They won't. But
you don't like if you upset the number 1 seed.
But do you not think that McNamara has the job right now?
I think he's the front runner. I still think Luke Murray is a better option at this point in time in terms of that tournament experience. You know, working at UConn. I don't think that GMAC is ready yet. And that's nothing to discredit him of his credentials, you know, but he's been a Division I coach for a year. And
2 years, and he transferred a 4-win team into a 23-win team and a tournament team.
But he's had one good year.
Right.
I think it'd be crazy to just throw him into a program that is in desperate need of a rebuild. Is Jerry McNamara going to rebuild Syracuse in the same way he's been able to rebuild Siena? I don't know, because the ACC is not the MAC. Like, let's just be frank. Like, that is, I think, arguably the worst conference in college basketball.
That's the MAAC, not the MAC.
So that's the thing for me, is that conference is so weak. It's a lot easier to turn a 4-win Siena team into the conference champion and to make the tournament. It's why they're the 16 seed in the tournament, just to be frank.
Right. So the problem, what if he has another win? What if, say, Autry remained the coach this upcoming year? He has another 23-win season, goes to the tournament again. Is he ready now? Or what are your requirements for McNamara to be ready for the Syracuse job.
In the same sense that why Bryan Hodsgon was probably should have been the number one target for Syracuse, no matter what happened. He's had above 20 wins in each of his 3 full seasons as a head coach at Arkansas at Arkansas State as well. You know, he was 4 games above 500 in all those years. That to me shows consistency of being able to build a roster that can compete even in a short time frame. 38 years old as well. You know, he's young. I think if he does go to Providence, I think Providence will be a contender in the Big East. And as much as that hurts, I think any Syracuse fan, that's the reality of what a good resume can bring and what a good coach can bring to the table. I think GMAC is a great coach. I just don't think. I think we'll see what they're made of this week. See how far they can push Duke. Obviously, I don't think it's not even close to realistic to think that they could win. But you know, if they can cause Duke be ahead of against Duke in the early portion of the game, you know, who knows? You don't know what anything can really happen. And, you know, I think another year at Siena would do GMAC a lot of good to just prove it's not just a one-off season, you know, and that sounds so harsh, but the reality is I don't think to be the head coach of Syracuse basketball should require more than just one 20-plus win season at a low major.
So was the Adrian Autry hire not a good hire because he didn't have head coaching experience before?
No, not at all. But the circumstances were different as well. I mean, I'm sure at that time you could have even picked between Autry and McNamara at the time. Would McNamara have done better than Autry?
Who knows?
Of course, it's a big question. I don't necessarily think it could have been better. I don't think it was much better. We're still in the same Syracuse basketball tree. I don't know. I just don't think it would have been that big of a difference. I think it still would have been a 3-year process where there would have been one good year. You know, we saw that in year 1 with Autry. 20 plus, we got that 20-win season, but it just wasn't sustainable. And you know, I think it's much more than just the head coach. There's other fundamental just issues in and around the program that need to be changed. And is it going to a guy who, yes, knows the program inside and out in Jerry McNamara, but Coach Autry knew the program inside and out too, and look what happened. So I think the program just needs a complete reset and understand that this program needs to rebuild, not just to retool and just reshuffle things around to something that maybe feels safe and would give the fans something exciting in Jerry McNamara. It needs to be just something completely fresh, something new.
I was talking earlier, it seemed like everyone was saying that before Siena won their conference tournament, it seemed like everyone was saying we need to go out of the Syracuse family because you saw what happened last time with Autry, and we didn't like that. So we think that maybe it was a Boeheim thing where Boeheim was really good, but we don't want to necessarily be a Boeheim program forever. But it seemed like that wasn't the case after Siena won their conference tournament. Oh, they're in the tournament now. He brought Siena to the tournament, a team that hasn't made it since 2010. And all of a sudden, you just heard all this McNamara talk again, and it kind of coincides with now Bryan Hodsgon, who was the clear #1 favorite, saying, well, he doesn't want the job. And it seems like it's all fallen into place. But I'm curious, do you think if they lose that conference championship game and they're not in the tournament, are we hearing these same things?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. And you know, I think it's all well and good being part of the Boeheim family tree. It's important, but this is the first time that Syracuse basketball has to do a proper coaching search. That hasn't happened in 60 years. Like in the history of this program, that has never happened. It's a completely fresh undertaking. So to play it safe and maybe, I don't want to say take the easy way out, but to go with someone that you know, like, I don't think that's the way forward. We need to be fresh, and that's why I think Bryan Hodsgon would have made a great pick. Luke Murray, I think, would have been still on the table, but that's started to quiet down. But obviously with the tournament going on, it makes a lot of these guys are a little bit busy. So I would
it'd be nice to be busy around this time.
Exactly, but you know, see, that's the thing. I don't think we won't have any decisions. I don't think until at least we get a couple rounds into the tournament when a few other teams their seasons end. So I think we'll find out in the next 2 weeks, though. I think it won't be too much longer.
All right. It's enough speculation, I think.
It is all speculation, but we'll see.
All right. Well, Syracuse Women's Hoops is dancing. That's a team that Syracuse fans can watch in March. So we'll talk about Felicia Leggett Jack Squad when we return after this break. Again.
I was literally sitting there for like 2 hours earlier today doing my resume, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get some food. I walked down to Marshall, and then I started walking home, and then all of a sudden you texted me, like, God, it's new.
Oh, so if I didn't text you, you wouldn't forgot about it?
I wouldn't say I forgot. I didn't realize eventually, but then I was like, oh my God, it's almost 3 already. Like I didn't realize the time. Holy moly, the time is flying. Time goes so quickly now. I feel like it's been insane. Oh my goodness. Because, excuse me. I really do wonder if it will be GMAC.
I don't know. That's what I've been hearing. So
I think it'll be a huge mistake.
Could be.
I really think it will be. It's just, what's the point of going back to what you were doing?
Yeah.
You want something fresh, something new. I mean, any news on the Kansas State job? Who it's going to be yet?
Oh yeah, they already announced.
Oh wait, who is it?
Casey Alexander.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the coach at Belmont.
Oh, interesting. I feel like I've heard his name before. Yeah, was it? Oh, at Lipscomb. Shout out. Dang, I mean, I still think there's got to be somebody else for Syracuse that doesn't have to be Jerry McNamara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems like this year is not the year to.
No, there's not a lot of good options.
Yeah.
But it's also just like the reality is that nobody really wants to take the job. It seems like, which is crazy to me. Like I always think that Syracuse is still like a big job, but
I mean, doesn't this show that's kind of not as big as you think?
I know. It's insane. I mean, I always think like Jake Marsh.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing his a lot of his like photos and like
on Instagram.
On Instagram,
yeah,
like he's popping up. I'm just like, I'm like, what the hell happened? Like we went from literally, I didn't even realize that Syracuse like hosted a game like
yeah, you can't even think about
the Elite Eight in the Dome. Like that could never happen again. Just insane to even think about. Like, was it Michigan State and Louisville in the Carrier Dome? That's insane. God, excuse me. I can't hear anyone, can you?
No.
Okay, cool. Is it Kyle or who's on the other side?
Tom today.
That was Tom. Sorry, Tom. I'm supposed to get a T-shirt for being a sub. Come on, guys. Where's my T-shirt? Oh, hey, Kyle.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon, 3:22 here in Syracuse. Riley Underwood and Nick Whaley along with you. We talked about the men's coaching job, but Syracuse women's basketball does not have that problem right now. They will be in the NCAA tournament, tipping off at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday as the 9 seed against the 8 seed Iowa State. Iowa State, solid women's program, but Syracuse program that a lot of people didn't expect to be in March. If you asked them at the beginning of the season, picked to be 13th in the ACC. Finished a lot better than that. So what are your thoughts on this matchup and just the season, how it's gone here?
Yeah, I think it's honestly a favorable one for Syracuse in the grand scheme of things. The 8 and 9 seed. Statistically, the 9 seed does better in the tournament. So, these one-off games, I think either team can win, especially when it's the 8 and 9 seed. This is a very good Syracuse team. They're going down to Stores once again in Connecticut. I really like what this program has really built on in the last 2 years. Really, I mean, last year obviously we didn't see what a Coach Jack team could really do, and then this year she brought in those right pieces. The only thing that really does concern me is that Dominique Darius will not be playing. That is a huge issue. She is on paper the third leading scorer of the team, but the thing about Dominique Darius is that I feel like she just makes everyone better on the team. Her and Layla Felia were such a dynamic duo in the backcourt, and they really help the likes of Uche Izoje really thrive on the down low, and that's where I'm interested to see who comes in and maybe takes that step up in the game on Saturday. Will we see a bit more of Sophie Burrows, possibly? I think that could be a possibility. Maybe Shai Hawkins play a few more extra minutes, but then even likes of like Johnny Thompson, maybe Madeline Potts maybe gets a few more minutes. It's going to be very interesting to see what adjustments are made, because I think this is a Syracuse team that certainly can at least win 1, maybe 2 games if they're lucky. But of course, the 8 or 9 seed will have to play the number 1 seed, which is UConn, and it will be in the Stores.
Yes, right.
Too. It would take a lot to win 2 games, but I think beating an Iowa State team that certainly that are the favorites in this game, of course, because they are not just because they're the 8 seed, but they in the Big 12 they've been really good this year. So it'll be a really close game, that's for sure, but a fun one as well.
I think the loss of Dominique Darius, I mean, you're not only losing your third leading scorer, which would hurt it enough of itself, but you're losing your leader on the team. You're also losing your point guard. So this is your main facilitator. So you could look at some bigs there. But who's the backup point guard for Syracuse? That's really the question, because we haven't really needed to see that all too much. Does Maddie Potts play a few more minutes? You talked about that. I think she might, because she's kind of that player that has filled into those roles late. Does Sophie Burrows move down to the 1? I mean, she'd be a tall 1, but I think she can play it and she can facilitate and she can handle the ball. So I think Dominique Darius, I think that's a big loss, and I think it does hurt their chances, because she's been one of the most pleasant surprises for the Syracuse team. I mean, she redshirted last year because she wasn't going to get enough playing time. She wanted to play more, so she went to Syracuse, which she did, and she totally showed out and impressed. But I'm a little concerned if that's going to affect it, because I think that could have an impact against a good Iowa State team. I just don't know if that loss could really change the game.
The one thing that I will say is I think this game will be won or lost in the interior.
Yes.
Audi Crooks, led the Big 12 in field goal percentage, 2-point field percentage. Also,
Second leading scorer in the country.
Second leading scorer in the country, exactly. And her against Uche Izoje, who I think could eventually become go to that level of Crooks in the next 2 or 3 years. It will be fascinating to see how those two match up, because I think Uche Izoje really is a future star. I think she's a future pro player as well. You know,
she already was a pro player.
Well, I mean, in the WNBA.
Right.
But at 21 years of age, who knows how many more years we'll see of Izoje in college. So it might only be two more years at the most. Like I mentioned, at 21 years of age, but she has been arguably the best freshman in the country. So it will be really interesting to see how those two match up. It's not going to be easy, but if Izoje can bring that attention as well, that will open up the space for the guards outside as well.
I totally agree with you on the fact that the interior is going to be where this game's won and lost. I mean, of course, if either team can string some shots together, that's obviously going to be an impact. But Izoje is the player to watch for Syracuse, and Crooks is the player to watch for Iowa State when you put these teams on posters that you're making before the game. These are the two players that are going to be on it. But the thing is, I think Izoje has the advantage here in terms of offensively, because Crooks, yeah, she's good. 26 points a game. She doesn't play any defense. That's where Izoje can really put her points in the paint to use, and that's when a Darius type player would help you, when you have someone that can facilitate and see you right away when you're open, when you're running those pick and rolls against a slow Crooks, to be honest. I mean, yes, you can score the ball, but that's really where you need to capitalize, because it's a weak spot on defense. So
Absolutely.
That's just going to be the question of, can Izoje put those 2 blocks a game to use? Can she really man up and play Crooks defensively, which is a hard player to stop? But that's really going to be the X factor in this game. That's how I see it.
And the other thing as well, I think, is that this is a Iowa State team that has that that little bit more experience as well at this top of the 7th straight tournament appearance for the Cyclones, and in a lot of ways, I think it'll be interesting to see just how that experience maybe does come into the fold a little bit. This is still a very young team, and Sophie Burrows is that only real key Syracuse player that was part of that run in 23. We'll see if that really does come into effect. But Coach Felicia Legette-Jack, she's been there, she's done it already. There's a reason why she's a ACC Coach of the Year contender every year. Certainly a contender. Certainly should have really been a contender for it this year. And in a lot of ways, I'm so excited to see for the future of this program. The recruitment has been really, really good, and the interest in the team as well has really grown. I think there's a lot of great support, and I know Bryan Bled, new athletic director, has a huge emphasis on the women's basketball program and the importance of it. So I think it'll be a great game for Syracuse. I think they can get the job done. Like you mentioned, like Crooks, I think that defense will hurt them in the long run. We'll see I think the key will be to see who steps up for, like I mentioned, for Dominique Darius. Obviously a huge miss for Syracuse, but I think the 9 seed is right where they should realistically have been anyway. So it gives them a chance to really get the job done. But of course, if they do get that win, like we said, they have UConn staring down at them on the other side of it. That will be a very interesting game, because obviously Syracuse did play against UConn 2 years ago. Yeah. And it was actually close. It was close down the stretch. And Paige Becker's just hit a couple of those few big shots down towards the end of the game, and that's what and the HFA couldn't keep up just in the end, so it'll be a great story. A lot of history between Syracuse and UConn on the women's side of things. Obviously played each other in the national championship in 2016, so I think it'll be really fun to see those two face off, but obviously we'll have to see.
Iowa State 7.5-point favorites in this game, which is pretty large margin for a 8 versus 9 first round game. Nick thinks they can get it done, but UConn staring right down the barrel. I don't think we could see some upsets. I mean, it's March. Anything can happen, Nick.
I'm just surprised that Iowa State are such heavy favorites.
Right.
Maybe that's a bit of the homer in me at the same time, but yeah, 7.5-point favorites at -340.
I think that's a big margin though for 8-9 game. Those are usually toss-ups.
Exactly. That's why I'm a little surprised. It's like similar-ish records as well. I know the Big 12 is very strong. Not that the ACC is weak by any means, but I think Big 12 has 12 teams in the tournament, the most of anybody. So it certainly will be interesting. Yeah, it's that. Who can replace Darius with those assists, with that playmaking ability? It'll be interesting. Also, love to see this. Cheapest ticket for this game, $340.
Oh my goodness,
that's incredible.
That is, yeah. Well,
love that. See,
it's because the UConn, the home game.
So
it's a home. They're buying. They sell them in sessions.
Well, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say that it's people are paying $340 to watch Syracuse against Iowa State.
Right. That's
because they are. In theory,
yes. In theory,
good deal.
In theory,
it's a really good deal.
In theory, they are. Well, that tips off the Orange of the Cyclones on Saturday at 5:30 in Storrs, Connecticut. Have you filled out your men's bracket yet?
I have.
All right. Well, let's talk about the upsets after this short break.
This is our
Jesus. My asthma. Oh my goodness.
What? Yeah, he said, "Are you sick, dude?"
No, I'm just out of shape. Well, I thought you were already gone. I thought you were on your way to Arkansas already. Okay. Well, coming up soon, man. Yeah, one more show then, and then you're gone. Gone forever. So sad. You telling me, dude? I feel so old right now. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I'm walking around. I don't recognize anybody anymore.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So, well, you got to convince Riley to come to Flip tonight.
Tonight? I don't know about tonight. Well, that used to be still. I feel like that used to have like so much aura. Now it's just kind of.
What's wrong with Wolves?
Nah, it's just there.
What do you mean it's just there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get drunk at 7 a.m. It's great.
Some footy. I know. Yes, I do know that. It's.
I love it. It doesn't get better than that. Genuinely.
It can't go on like this, can
it? It can. It can.
It can.
All right, let's see how these games are going on right now.
Champions League, UEFA.
It's 7-2.
Barcelona.
Oh my gosh. No, I needed them to win. Oh gosh.
You needed them to win?
Well, because Chelsea lost yesterday, and now at this point I just need all the English teams to win. Oh, gold. That's actually incredible. Oh, wait, can I pull up or do I have to do it on my phone? My bracket.
What? No, you can do it on ESPN.
Can you?
Yeah, ESPN.com.
Yup. I just wonder if I have this is like my actual account though. That's my only.
And you go to fantasy?
Oh, yeah.
Hover over that. The men's tournament challenge.
Men's tournament challenge. These are mine?
You're not logged in?
Yeah, I don't think I'm logged in. Figured it out. Is that your squad?
No, I don't know.
I'm just gonna do it on my phone. It makes it easier. I have I filled out 5.
Oh no!
So, but
I'm only
gonna do. I know. I'm actually gonna delete this one because I might.
Well, don't feel pressured.
I've wanted to delete this one for a minute, but how do you delete brackets? Can you not?
I have no idea.
Wait, can I really not delete this? Wait, more sharing options. What? Because it's my one outlandish one that I don't really care about. Because should I do the one for? Damn, there's only 3 people in ours. The one
I know.
for PC. That's so fake. Everyone's so fake. Yeah, I'll do my main one. What I actually care about. There's a couple I keep flipping back.
ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
All right, welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon. Riley Underwood, Nicholas Whaley here with you. And Nick is, well, he's disappointed me once again because during the commercial break, this guy says he has 5 brackets.
Okay, but
you can't. No.
Okay, no, I technically have 3 at this stage.
That's still bad.
No, the thing is, if I have one that I actually care about, one that I'm like, okay, this is more likely, and then 3 just kind of winging it.
Yeah, but why don't you just do? If you have more, folks that are listening, if you have more than one bracket, shame on you because you need to make your picks and stick with them.
Okay, well, how do I delete brackets though? Like
I said, don't make.
I wanted to delete them anyway.
Don't feel pressured. No, you did. He did.
This is
he didn't.
This is definitely an ESPN thing. It's because you can't. Can I not delete brackets?
Right. Yeah. Right. You can't delete them. Right.
I promise you. Look, you hit the thing.
But what's your? I just don't see the thinking behind it because when you make your bracket, you're thinking, all right, this is who I think is going to win. Now let's make another one. Let's pick the people I maybe think are going to win. Can you make it make sense for me? I don't get it.
Oh my goodness. No, it's the reason, but you can make 25.
I know you can. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
See, the thing is, I think it makes sense that you do one that you like, yeah, these are my picks.
Right. That's the good one.
And that's the one we'll talk. That's the one I'm actually like. All right. There's an analytics one, and then there's one coin toss one.
Coin toss?
Yes. I had this.
They're ridiculous.
No, it makes sense. It does make sense. Okay, it does make sense. All right, come on. All right, but you gotta let us do our picks though,
because get serious. All right,
we had our first 4 games, first 2 4 games. Yeah,
2 more games tonight. So what are we going through? We just choosing our upset watch, or are we just going down it?
Ooh, well, do you want to do like dark horse?
All right, let's go. Who you got? Duke Siena. Let's start at the top.
Duke Siena. Okay.
Obviously.
Let's go each region first.
Each region. All right.
So we'll go to East region first. I've got Duke over Siena.
Yep.
Ohio State over TCU.
I got Texas Christian. I'm going with the Frogs.
Ooh, I keep flipping back and forth. I don't think there's enough offense for TCU. That's my one concern.
All right, St. John's. A lot of people are picking Northern Iowa.
I don't get it.
I don't get that either.
I don't get it either. St. John's got absolutely screwed as the 5 seed. The fact that they're going to have to then play Kansas probably in the next round is so unfair.
Who is struggling? Kansas is struggling, but I think if you get Darren Peterson back full time,
if Peterson plays the minutes that he should, Kansas are the best 4 seed in the tournament. I think so.
Better than Arkansas?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
But yeah, I have Kansas over Cal Baptist. I've got South Florida beating Louisville.
Me too. This is what we agree on.
So I think because Louisville obviously just lost their best player.
Yep, Michael Brown.
Yep. So I think I don't think it's a guarantee, but I think that's really swayed. I had USF even before that happened. So that hammers it home for me. Michigan State over North Dakota State. Yep. Got UCLA over UCF.
Yeah, me too.
So that one I'm a little heavy.
I was thinking about picking Central. They played good. They played good down the stretch.
Yeah, also played it with a really high tempo. So that'll be interesting to see. I do have UConn over Furman, and then that's my East.
All right. So who do you have coming out of the East?
So coming out of the East,
who's going to the Final Four from the East?
So I'll tell you one thing. I have UConn losing in the round of 32.
Oh. To UCLA.
To UCLA.
Oh, man.
So, because I think UConn are frauds. I do not trust them at all. I have St. John's beating Kansas. I do have Duke coming out of the East. I know that's boring, but I think it just makes sense.
I'm going with the sleeper. I got Michigan State coming out. I got them beating Duke.
Wow. Okay. Who do you have? We'll talk about. We could do the South region next.
All right.
Going to the South in terms of the first round.
Florida.
I got Florida coming out, but Florida. Got Florida, Clemson over Iowa.
Going the Hawkeyes, man. I'm going Iowa. Ooh. Picking the 9th seed again.
Okay. Got Vandy over McNeese. I think Vandy looked really good down the stretch.
I picked McNeese.
What?
That's one of my biggest upsets.
Yes,
McNeese over Vanderbilt. I like it.
First year head coach. Oh my goodness.
They're playing good.
Is it just because of the Aura guy?
Oricon? Yes. If he's not there, Vanderbilt is winning. But if you get hyped up in the hallway coming out, I think you got it.
Yeah, I don't have enough 12 seed. I don't think I have a single 12 seed.
I always pick too many of them.
Yeah, yeah. I do have Nebraska over Troy. Yeah. Finally, Nebraska will win one. I have VCU over UNC.
Okay.
I think without Caleb Wilson, I think it'll be a little bit of a. It'll be a little bit of a struggle.
All right. I have UNC, but all right.
Okay. Illinois over Penn.
Yep.
Texas A&M over St. Mary's.
Okay, I have St. Mary's.
Ooh, okay.
But Texas A&M's a 10 seed. I was thinking about that. I mean,
I think that's what worries me is that maybe a too obvious upset.
Right.
And then Houston over Idaho.
Yes.
And yeah, coming out, I have Florida. I do have Vandy beating Nebraska. Illinois does beat VCU. Illinois over Houston. Florida comes out, plays Duke in the Final Four.
Well, I have Houston over Florida in the Elite Eight. I'm sending Houston. I'm sending the Cougars to the Final Four.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Houston are a good team.
I pick them every year. I think this might be the one.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to pick them
until they win?
Until they win.
Yes.
Which how many times have they been a top 3 seed and they got to the national championship? What?
A lot. Yeah. Well, yeah. It happens. Well, right. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're high seeds a lot. All right. Yeah. Let's go to the West. Arizona over Long Island.
Yeah.
Magic stops here. I have Utah State.
So do I.
Yes,
so do I.
Yes.
Their head coach, he was fuming there with the 9 seed.
Yeah.
That gives me a little bit of fire that they're going to do really well. Then I got Wisco over High Point.
Yep.
I think that's too obvious of a trap game. I don't think that'll happen. Arkansas over Hawaii.
Yes, sir.
BYU over Texas.
Yep.
Gonzaga over Kennesaw State.
Yep.
Miami over Mizzou.
Yep.
And then Purdue over Queens. Kind of like mine's a little bit basic.
Yeah.
I will say though, I have 2 upsets though in the round of 32.
Okay. Let's hear them.
Miami over Purdue.
Okay.
BYU over Gonzaga.
I have BYU over Gonzaga as well.
And I have BYU making a run all the way to the Final Four.
Come on, BYU.
They have the best player in the country.
Give me some. That's my pick too. That's my pick too. I got Brigham Young going to the Final Four.
Yes. DJ is going to have a phenomenal tournament. I firmly believe it. Because he's going to be the #1 pick.
AJ Devonson, man, he's tough. He's tough. You watch him in the Big 12 tournament, that guy gets buckets. All right, going in the Midwest. Yeah, Michigan beating Howard.
Yep, easy.
Georgia beating St. Louis.
No.
Give me
St. Louis.
This guy's so high on shirts, man.
I am. He's still I think he's still the best mid-major coach.
I got Georgia. I got Texas Tech over Akron.
Oof, yeah, don't
tell me you're picking the Zips.
I've been flipping back and forth. Texas Tech is like they don't have the 2 best players.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter. If they had their full team healthy, they'd probably be a 3 seed. They're lucky that they're even a 5 seed, I think.
All right.
So I don't know. I have Texas Tech for now, but that might change in the next 20 hours.
Alabama over Hofstra.
I still have Bama over Hofstra.
That's not what you were telling me yesterday.
I could see Hofstra.
Was that in your other bracket that you were talking about?
No. I genuinely, but that's another one that I'm like, ooh. Because I don't have a 13 seed upsetting anybody yet. So I could definitely see Alabama losing, considering everything that's going on over there. It's a little bit chaotic. Hofstra looked pretty good when I saw them live this year, so who knows? We'll see. All right. Tennessee over whoever wins tonight.
Who's winning tonight is Miami of Ohio, and that's the team that's going to beat Tennessee.
No.
And I think the discussion before the tournament was ridiculous. I agree. Yes,
I agree with that. The fact they were even a first 4 game, I think, is so unfair. Like,
I do too.
They could totally lose tonight. Yeah. They should have been like a 10 seed. I think that would have been fair.
And the fact that some people think that Auburn should have been in it is. What is the argument? We played some really, really good teams and we won a couple of them. I mean, what is the argument there?
Only people with the last name Pearl think that Auburn should have been into the tournament. No team with 16 losses should be in the tournament. I never understood that. I think also if you have a below 5, like significantly below 500 conference record, you shouldn't even be.
I don't even understand. I don't understand.
Doesn't make sense. But yeah, okay. But I still have Tennessee beating whoever. Tennessee are a better team than SMU or Miami of Ohio. Okay. Unfortunately,
the better team doesn't always win, Nick.
Yes, but Tennessee are just that much better.
All right.
Okay,
I got Virginia over Wright State.
Fine.
Kentucky over Santa Clara.
Yep.
Iowa State over Tennessee State. Yep. I got Michigan coming out. That's my only 1 seed I have making the Final Four.
Is there only 1 seed?
I know.
Ooh, very interesting.
You got Michigan?
I do have Michigan. I do. My only concern, I do have Iowa State also beating Tennessee then in the Sweet 16. I don't think I have any other upsets really. Oh yeah, I have Tennessee beating UVA.
Okay.
So, but my only big concern is just like that I have 3 1 seeds in the Final Four. Like,
yeah, I know.
And but I'm confident in that because the 1 seeds are so strong.
They are, and it really took a lot out of me to not pick Duke to the Final Four.
I think that's really brave.
I know.
Really brave.
It's stupid, but it's.
Cam Boozer is still probably the second best player in the country.
Yeah,
right now.
I agree with you. Yes. So what am I doing? I don't know. Throwing away money in my pools.
It's okay. It's okay. But okay.
Final Four.
Ultimately, yeah, my Final Four: Duke, Florida, BYU, Michigan. I have Duke beating Florida and I have Michigan beating.
All right, so
being BYU.
Yeah.
So what's your national championship?
My my Final Four is Michigan State, Houston, Brigham Young, and Michigan, and I have Houston and Michigan in the championship game.
Okay.
And the Cougars will be victorious on April 6th.
No. I have Michigan beating Duke.
All right.
I've been high on Michigan since week 2. And I thought that they've been the best team in the country. I think Duke will run out of steam eventually in the tournament. I think their bracket's just a little bit too strong, but I think that'll be an incredible national championship in Indianapolis. Oh my goodness. But I would love to see BYU also make it to the Natty. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, that would.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's going to be so great.
Tomorrow will be great. The start of it officially. I mean, who doesn't love some March?
I love being unproductive for the next week and a half.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Well, I got Houston. Nick has Michigan. Neither of us will probably be right, but
I think I'll be more right.
Follow along. You feel free to tail.
Yes, tail our picks.
Feel free. Just give us a small 15% cut. Well, after this short break, we will wrap up shop here on Newhouse Afternoon. I got a hot take for you, Nick. I don't know if it's that hot. We'll see.
We'll see if it's spicy.
Be sure to tune into Mike.
Okay. I need a 13 seed though.
A 13 seed. Let's
be
see.
A 4 seed. How many 12s do I have? Do I have any 12s? I only have 11s. I don't have any 12s winning. That's concerning. All right, Akron. I'm picking Akron.
Oh man,
go Zips.
I'm going to Buffalo tomorrow to see the tournament.
Oh, dude, I actually really want to go.
Yeah. So it's going to be Louisville and South Florida and Michigan State and North Dakota State.
How much are tickets?
I got that session for $88.
That's not bad though.
Yeah. That was before the teams were announced. So.
Oh, is it a lot?
It's a lot more now.
Damn. Oh man. I would love to go. Let's see what the cheapest tickets are at the moment. Oh my goodness.
What are they?
I'm looking. This is how much they are right now. So in Oklahoma City, it's $728, and that's for, I guess that's Michigan, isn't it? Okay, yeah, whatever. Because what is that? Oh, that's Nebraska, Troy, Vanderbilt, McNeese, and St. Mary's, Texas A&M, and Houston, Idaho. Damn, and that's $728. Good grief. Oh my goodness. How much is the national? How much is the Final Four? The one on Saturday is $300, and then the one on Monday is like $200.
What do you say we splurge? Let's take some money out of the Q Sports Talk budget and we can go to the national championship.
We should.
Yeah. Sure, no one would have a problem with that.
Nope, absolutely not. Just, put it on expenses.
Just put it on the card.
Put it on the card. Yep, it's expenses. Oh shoot, I didn't pay for parking. Uh-oh. I got a ticket yesterday from Syracuse.
Really?
$75.
Where'd you park? On the wrong side or what?
In front of Barnes.
Oh.
Which was kind of messed up because I thought like after 6, like they don't really care, but
yeah,
they've been on one recently.
So you basically worked to even out.
Oh, basically.
Yeah.
So, but I appealed it, so we'll see.
Oh, okay. What was your appeal? What did that say?
That I was only in the building for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then I was going to get my wallet.
Nice.
From the lost and found, and I had proof that I lost my wallet.
Nice.
So,
what's the proof?
I showed them the lost and found spreadsheet.
Nice.
See? No, it's all calculated.
All calculated. They're probably listening right now.
Ooh,
that
guy.
guy.
If anybody works at Syracuse Parking, please rescind my $75 ticket. That would be great. Yeah, no, $75 is egregious. But I did see a meter maid walking around, so that's why I'm a little concerned.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Haven't eaten today either. Starving.
Yeah, me neither.
Should raid my Linda's fridge.
I think there's a couple ice cream cups in there.
Oh, really? I didn't get a shake yesterday.
Why didn't you come?
Well, I was there, but no one was making them, so I didn't know.
Oh, well, Griffin was supposed to be making them.
Well, Griffin was slacking off.
Well, he was the concoctor.
The concoctor. Oh dear.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I wanted to have the one that was on the table, but I couldn't. Okay, there's not even a place for me to pay for the parking, so. Ooh. Newly hired Syracuse Athletic Director Bryan Blair will address the media tomorrow for the first time in his new role at 10 a.m.
PN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back to Newhouse Afternoon. Riley Underwood and Nicholas Whaley here with you. We've just received word that new athletic director Bryan Blair will address the media for the first time in Syracuse tomorrow at 10 a.m. Now, Nick, my hot take, that will be his second appearance. That will be his first appearance in 2 days, because the second one's coming on Friday when he announces the new head basketball coach at Syracuse, which will be Jerry McNamara, after he loses to Duke in the first round tomorrow. He will move quickly. He will move swiftly, and that's what's going to happen. So Bryan Blair is going to have a busy 2 days First time addressing the media tomorrow, and second one coming just over 24 hours after. Why not?
Yeah, honestly, I back it. I back that at least that we'll have a decision within the next week or so. Maybe not that soon. That's my one concern. Like, that is very soon. Even if Sienna does lose like that quickly in the tournament.
I bet the talks are. I mean, you got to know some talks
give
are.
Give them a little bit of time to just embrace defeat.
Embrace defeat. Well, what he said what McNamara said earlier this week. You win, and those things come up. The offers and the talks. And
yes.
I think that's true.
The one thing that really I don't know if that will be the right decision. I'm really concerned. I think what Bryan Blair also brings to the table with his funding, he did an incredible job at Toledo, and that's like a huge emphasis. He's only been an athletic director in this NIL era, so I think that is why I still think that this report from Jeff Goodman is. I still think that Bryan Hodgson may still be at least on the fringes of the race. I think we don't know. I think there's still something to be had there. It'll be very interesting. I don't know. I like the pick. I don't mind it.
All right.
I don't mind it.
All right. Well, everyone enjoy the basketball you'll get to watch tonight. The Miami Redhawks.
Yeah,
you gotta love them.
Yeah,
their first of 2 wins tonight coming in.
Oh my goodness.
In the tournament.
Yes.
Well, happy March, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Newhouse Afternoon. Riley Underwood and Nicholas Whaley signing off. We'll see you next week.
This is Orange.